I don't know why Canada decides to be super humid on the days I need to film. So, hair's up, fans on, starting to become the usual with my videos. But today I wanted to talk about 5 hyped books, both in my real life and on YouTube, that I haven't read yet. These are ones that I own. There are quite a few books that are pretty popular that I don't own, but I should read. So these are the 5 that everybody's like, Christina, why haven't you read that yet? You need to read that right now. So I thought I would share those with you guys. The first one I have yet to read is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Everybody loves Rainbow Rowell's books, and I read Eleanor and Park last year, and if you remember me talking about that book, it struck a little bit too close to home for me, and I think I've just been kind of put off from reading her books. But this one sounds like it'll be close to home, but in a good way, since this girl is a fangirl, and I'm a pretty big fangirl, so I hope to read this soon. I bought this almost 2 years ago when I went to the National Book Festival in DC, so I should probably get on this one. And the next one is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. She's also written The Sky Is Everywhere, which I own but haven't read yet, but I think this one is a little bit more hyped up than that other one. So everybody's read this book, it feels like, and everybody talks about this book, and it was one of the best books they read last year, and I'm not sure why I haven't picked it up yet. Honestly, can't say that for any of them, or I can say that for all of them. I just, priorities, I guess. I think these next 3 are the worst offenders on this list, and I have Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, and I can basically include almost all of her books except City of Bones, because I have read that one. I read that 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So I have read City of Bones, I just haven't read any of her other books, and that includes The Iron Trial. So her books are so hyped. Everybody's read them. One of my coworkers just finished reading this series, and I'm like, don't spoil me, I haven't read them. So everybody's read these books, and I feel like I need to, because I own all of them. Then I have A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. This is my second time owning this book. I recently purchased the big floppy paperback instead of the mass market paperback copy that I had. And I also have an ebook version because I thought maybe that would help me to read it. And then I thought maybe having the big paperback would help me read it. I need to read this. I'm currently 8 books ahead on my Goodreads challenge, so there's no reason for me not to pick up this book since now I have the time to sit and read it. So maybe after I'm done working for the summer and before I go back to school, I'll pick it up. I haven't even watched the TV show. I can't decide if I just want to read the book or if I want to watch an episode or 2 of the show so I can understand the characters and the world and stuff and then read the book. I'm not sure how I should go about it. I don't tend to read a lot of fantasy, so I think that's why I'm a little bit hesitant, but let me know, because I do want to read it. And then last but not least, since everybody's now talking about this author since his new book is finally coming out, I have Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Everybody's read this book. Even my mother has read this book. I need to read this book. This is another one that was on everybody's favorites list last year or the year before, and now that Armada is coming out and everybody's talking about him all over again, I feel like I need to read this book and understand why everybody is so excited for Armada. So I think this is another fantasy, or it might be science fiction. I'm not sure. It's kind of like a video game come to life, maybe? See, I don't even know. That's how behind I am. I don't even know what this book is about. So I'm gonna get on this. Hopefully by the end of the year I've read these 5 books. If not, if I haven't read these 5 books by the end of December, except Clockwork Prince, because I cannot read that entire series in 6 months, I will have to unhaul these books, because I've had these forever, and if I haven't read them, I'm gonna have to get rid of them, except for the Mortal Instruments, because there's no way. Hopefully I'll read City of Ashes this year, though. So yeah, those are 5 hyped books that I own and haven't read. I'm sure if I looked closer enough there would be a lot more, like the Lunar Chronicles. I've only read Cinder and I wasn't even that big of a fan, but I read that 3 years ago. Vicious. There's a lot of books that are very hyped and I haven't read yet. So if you've read any of these 5 books, let me know what you thought of them and which ones I should read first. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Let me know if there's any hyped books that you haven't read yet, especially if you haven't read any of these. We're in the same boat and we could potentially do a read along. So that might motivate us all. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye.